Is walking tall. Meet Alan Newhart, the proud papa, one of the country's newest papers, tonight on American Almanac.
Well, as we come back, DeVincent has just gotten a strike in the fifth, and here's how he did it. Same way he did it in the fourth. Look at the 10-pin. Boom.
That's that big hook and that real hard rolling ball on the back end. Throwing the pins off the wall all the way across to the 10-pin.
DeVincent with 3 in a row. And now Monacelli in the fifth, trying to get 4 strikes in a row, and
again the solid 10. And you know, after the strike he got in the fourth, that real light hit, I think he was real loose on that one, made a great shot. And I was surprised, and I'm sure he was, that he left the 10-pin. Look at the ball break very sharply behind the head pin. You see they go right around the neck of the 10-pin. Monacelli will use a lot more speed in this shot, try to flatten out the break so he can go straighter at the 10-pin.
All right, we showed you his career money winnings a moment ago. He's won better than $71,000 this year to rank 13th on the money list, just 24 years old. Tremendous potential.
He's gained a lot of experience just in the last year and a half, and he's really improved. He's very competitive now with the top players on the tour. All he lacks is that first win, and once he gets that, he's going to be hard to beat.
Monacelli strikes in the sixth. DeVincent up by 1. The Fall Tour money leaders and Monacelli with a victory could jump right to the top of that list.
I think he would rather have the win than the money, Jay, right now. Like you mentioned earlier, that Firestone Tournament Championship, that's where you want to be.
Storm DeVincent continues, and that is now 4 in a row for him, and a lead of 11. DeVincent, a handsome young man, looks like a matinee idol.
These are the kind of scores I really expect us to have today, right now, just the way they're bowling now.
There's Storm's father sitting there behind him, and his wife, Luann. It had to hurry, and it got there.
5 in a row for Storm DeVincent, and he's taken a 21-pin lead over a little over Monacelli.
More action from here in Columbus, Ohio, right after these messages.
Wash and go with Perth. Got too much you're busy doing to fuss around with your shampooing. Keep your hair on the go with you. Wash and go with Perth. You want a shampoo works as hard as you. Wash and go with Perth.
Perth shampoo has a drop of conditioner, so you just wash and go with great hair and no fuss.
Wash and go with Perth.
This beautiful southern mansion is home to the world-class cuisine of Anthony's in Atlanta. Tonight, we're secretly replacing Anthony's regular coffee with dark, sparkling, decaffeinated Folgers crystals. Will it be rich enough for our special guests?
It has a very good flavor to it.
Rich.
It's decaffeinated Folgers crystals. This is instant coffee. Are you serious?
That's
it's very, very
amazing.
good.
I'm really amazed because it is delicious.
Decaffeinated Folgers crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
If you suffer from occasional muscular backache due to overexertion, overstraining, or even overweight, get the power of Doan's Pills. Just 2 pills help relieve the misery of minor muscular back pain and ache due to stress and strain, with a pain relief ingredient found in no other leading analgesic. Doan's relieves the pain to help give you back your mobility for hours. Try Doan's Pills and put the power where your pain is.
Relive the magic of the World Professional Figure Skating Championships on a special NBC Sports World Encore next Saturday.
Storm DeVincent has just struck in the 8th. And you can see that's 6 in a row for him. Monacelli striking in the 7th and 8th. And Earl, just as you indicated at the top of the show, it's heating up here. The scores are beginning to get very, very high, the kind of matches we expected.
And I think they're going to continue this way, Jay. Monacelli experienced. He's been here just recently. DeVincent's loose now. He's gone through his first match.
Will it be 7 in a row? Yes!
Well, folks, don't forget that $100,000 for a 300 game, and it's still possible. A lot of bowling yet this afternoon.
Our good friends at True Value Hardware have the check ready. Our 1 and 2 qualifiers, they're certainly capable. Troup had a 300 game here this week.
On this pair, too.
That's right. Baker qualifying number 1. Monacelli down by 21 as we've got a dandy going here. Came up a little short.
That one he really got well down the lane, way, way down the lane, and didn't really have the opportunity to get back to the pocket. A little more speed and loft on that shot. This is a difficult spare.
The 2-8, we've seen it a lot lately, it seems to me.
Yes, and that's because we've seen the same type of bowler a lot, and that's the guys that are hooking the ball. They're really covering the boards. And this is not an unusual spare for that type of player.
You see the 2 different color shoes. We'll explain that in a moment. Uh-oh, he got there. Those of you who have seen Monacelli before, you know that he wears those 2 different color shoes, and one is so he can get a better bit of traction, stop better.
Right, he wants that leverage he can get by planting that build-up heel that he has on that left, the red shoe. He plants it at the foul line, and then he pulls the ball through, gives him a lot of leverage and lift and loft, get the ball well down the lane, that sharp break.
Small in stature, but a very big bowler he is, and this a very important shot for him.
Look at that. Almost went in the channel, Jay.
That really came quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, I didn't know you could hook the ball in the air, but that one looked like it was floating over the edge of the edge of the channel and came back.
What is it you said to me? It looks like he's throwing that ball around a telephone pole. Super slow-mo look.
Does that ball look like it's going to go in the channel? Yes, sir. And still got back too far. Storm DeVincent's going to be our winner.
Yes, he is, and he is moving from that 5th position. Monacelli converts the 3-6-10.
With the fill here on his last ball, Amleto Monacelli can shoot 234. Storm DeVincent going at a 260 even clip.
We are going to stay with this, of course, because of DeVincent's chance for a very big score, and a final score for Monacelli of 233.
Storm DeVincent can go out for 280, but he still has to stay behind the foul line. A lot of strange things have happened. Remember, he threw one in the channel against Bob Handley in a crucial situation 3 years ago in Miami.
Well, I wonder if this high score by DeVincent has got Guppy Troup and Tom Baker interested. I'm sure the $27,000 has them interested here. Baker qualifying first and Troup second. But Storm DeVincent, our story so far this afternoon. The young man who came from Massachusetts to live in Florida is defeated Milton and now Monacelli. And look at that little wink right there. 9 strikes in this match for DeVincent.
9 in a row. One more, and you'll have 11 strikes out of a possible 12 shots.
Well, maybe you'd like to have that 4-pin in the second.
I think he would have threw the last one better.
Might have thrown that last one a little better. The winner is Storm DeVincent, 277 to 233. Back with more in a moment.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
If you just ask for a light beer,
Thanks.
you never know what you'll get.
Nah, give me a light. Nah, Bud Light.
So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
Hey, that truck runs, a Fisher & Son doesn't.
Only gets the big Q. Quaker State.
Well, you can depend on number one.
You'll pop. They start with Pennsylvania grade crude.
Nothing like Quaker State.
It's a one-of-a-kind formula. Stable viscosity, keeps the oil flowing, protecting, no matter what.
No substitute for quality. I got 2 great partners.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
Easy for you.
Need help?
Yeah, and I've got 10 minutes to get to the radio station.
Here's the problem.
Easy for you. Ever listen to KBLY?
Should I?
Stetson Cologne. Comfortable, easy to wear.
And for that great smelling guy who started my car, I get off at 6.
Easy to wear, hard to resist. Stetson fits.
Hi, I'm Bob 710 Split Costas, personal fashion consultant to Guppy Troup. Hope you're enjoying NBC Sports' exclusive coverage of the PBA Fall Tour. And for additional thrills, join me, Pete Axthelm, Ahmad Rashad, and Larry King for the first word in pro football, NFL 85, Sunday on NBC.
Yes, indeed. Bob Costas and the crew. There's Guppy Troup reacting to that little promo for NFL 85. Jay Randolph and Earl Anthony. Of course, Bob Costas thinks that a gutter ball is a dance party, but nevertheless, you'll join Bob and all the crew tomorrow for NFL 85, and we've got some tremendous action coming up. Let's go back and recap what has happened up to now this afternoon. Storm DeVincent has come through his first 2 matches in excellent fashion. He's warming to the task of going all the way.
He is, Jay, and the scores, like as we mentioned earlier, are getting better and better as the players get a little more experience on the pair. Storm was a little nervous in the first game. Now he's ready. He's just beat one of the best players out here, Monacelli, and they don't get any easier with Guppy Troup.
And there are the results of our first match. DeVincent over Milton, DeVincent over Monacelli, and now, of course, DeVincent has to go against the very popular Guppy Troup, who always seems to bowl very well here in Columbus.
Again, remember, he had 300 on this pair earlier in the week.
I'm going to talk to you, of course, as we always do, about the rest of the field. And here this week, the top finishers, the top 24.
Starting with Bruce Carter, of course, and Del Ballard, both earned their exemption status this year by finishing in the top 50 in the PBA point list. And then we have our statistician, Chuck Pierce, in his second finals in a row. He's doing well. Wayne Webb still struggling for him. That's struggling on the fall tour.
Dave Ferraro among the average leaders, exempt for next year. Randy Johnson, Bill Johnson, his dad, a PBA champion. There's Jerry Kessler. He had to make the top 24 to be exempt for next year. Mark Baker, the big guy, still hot, making the top 24 20 of 31 times this year.
And everybody knows that face, Marshall Holman, who had just re-injured his wrist and had to finish. This is it for the year for Marshall. He's done. Sam Macaron recovering again, him from a broken wrist and doing well. And Ricky Sajak, who is one of 8 players to earn $100,000 last year. And Jim Pensick finished 4th in the Budweiser Open 3 weeks ago, still bowling well.
Sam Zurich, very steady as usual. Ron Bell, he likes this center very much, finished 4th here last year. Mark Roth, he'll be the defending champion at the Tournament Players Championship next week. Bobby Jacks, the only left-hander in the top 24.
And Jim Miller, he made a great charge last night, just missed the telecast. Steve Martin cashed in 20 of 25 tournaments this year, and Warren Nelson missed by 20 pins making the telecast and wants to say hi to his wife, Maura.
And other finishers of prominence. Mike Albee is still $200 away from the $200,000 barrier. Pete Weber, Steve Cook, Carmen Salvino, now in the Italian Hall of Fame, and Mike Durbin finished 131. Well, we're ready to go now, as it will be Storm DeVincent to go against Guppy Troup. Guppy led after the 5th round. There they are. Guppy resplendent in the red today. Got all the good stuff on. Got his gold out today, didn't he?
That's right. If he doesn't beat you, he might blind you out there, Jay.
221.9 tournament average. 300 perfect game on this TV pair here in Columbus this week. Got it.
Well, 11 more.
Guppy 5'8", 175 pounds, and he is very popular here. 300 games this week also for Tom Kreitz, and I mentioned Guppy.
Now here's a guy, he's won 2 matches already. He's averaging 243. If that doesn't make you nervous, nothing will. Trouble. Will they get another? No, I thought he was going to get another break there from there.
He got a bit of a break, I think. No split there, but first prize, $27,000. $150,000 Budweiser Classic here in Columbus. Columbus, Ohio, now Ohio's largest city population-wise. Great growing community. And he picks it up. Of course, Columbus, the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and the Buckeyes go against BYU right here on NBC on the 28th of December. I'll be joined by Bob Rowe and Dave Rowe, I should say. I'll get that by the 28th of December, I hope, but you'll join me for the coverage of the Buckeyes and BYU from down in Orlando, Florida.
You remember my name by chance?
Yep,
my name? Okay.
I know you. The old left-hander.
And a good break. Trip in the 4 pin.
Vincent.
First trip 4 we've seen today. We've seen a lot of the light hits carry. We've seen the 10 pin get the break off the wall and carry the 10, but that's the first 4 pin that we've seen. Now here's an exciting player. If he gets it going, he'll be running all over the place out there, Jay.
And he really tests our camera people with those colors. Short, quick step in the action. And Guppy has left the 4 pin.
And just the opposite break, whereas Storm DeVincent tripped it off the wall with the high hit. Guppy's ball came in light. Look how quickly he gets up, switches balls to make the spare. This ball doesn't hook as much as his strike ball, so he likes to use a straighter ball right at it.
Guppy qualified second here last year, just as he has this year, and he won from that spot when he beat Norm Duke 236 to 181. 35 years old, from Neptune Beach, Florida. Guppy's going to be heading down to Florida to sign a deal on a bowling center in the Jacksonville area.
Did you see the name he came up with? Guppy's Classic Lanes.
You betcha. He's
Everybody,
a classic.
all the employees are going to dress just like Guppy.
Will everybody wear sunglasses? He gets the strike.
I think all the customers will be wearing the sunglasses when they walk in the door. Johnny Petraglia is another new proprietor. He's got country lanes now in Staten Island, New York, which is great. It's nice to see the guys get something going besides just bowling with that bowling ball. It's a tough way to make a living.
The match is even, and here is Storm DeVincent, who is trying to storm all the way into the final match.
Trouble.
Yeah, a little high again, and he's not adjusting. As you've heard Earl Anthony say so many times, the lanes are ever changing under the television lights.
The ball is starting to break sooner, and so he's got to make one of two moves. He either has to move a little left with his feet and his target, get the ball down the lane, or increase his speed. I think Storm will make the move on the approach in the lane rather than change his speed, because he is a very soft stroker. He doesn't throw the ball hard, doesn't like to.
Well, in the last game, we started out with a couple of spares, and then they really got hot. And it was DeVincent with a 277 to 233 over Monacelli.
There's the people that are really nervous, right there.
A strike for DeVincent. More action from the Columbus Square Bowling Palace in Columbus, Ohio in a moment.
Christmas is just around the bend, bringing gifts from True Value hardware stores. Like the Dustbuster Plus, Black & Decker's most powerful cordless vacuum, complete with attachments. Then peel and julienne fruits or vegetables with this Daisy electric stripper. And work anywhere in your kitchen with these Sunbeam cordless appliances. Get the Freedom cordless mixer, knife, or can opener at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Holiday special. Buy a Riuniti Magnum and save $2 now. A great gift.
I saw this demonstration on TV, but I didn't believe it until I tried it myself. On this side, I feel a tingling sensation with Denorex. Here with Selsun Blue, nothing. The tingle tells me that Denorex is doing more.
Both have dandruff medicine, but Denorex adds an extra anti-itch medicine many dermatologists recommend.
Feels really good. Refreshing. So long, Selsun Blue. Hello, Denorex.
Denorex shampoo or shampoo and conditioner fights dandruff and its itch with an extra relief medicine.
The NFL plays here when the Browns battle the Giants.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL 85.
Storm DeVincent in the fifth.
What a great adjustment, Jay, right there. Remember, he was high twice in a row on that lane. He's made the good adjustment, got it farther down the lane for the strike.
And he is back in the lead, as you see Troup with a spare in the fifth there while we were away. And DeVincent now has struck in the fourth and fifth. His scores from the first two matches. Guppy, a 300 game, as we mentioned, a perfect game on this TV pair where he averaged 252.5. He led after the fifth round. And now Storm brings it in there. And there is one standing for him down there. That's the 8-pin. Luann DeVincent, his wife, looking on. Had a shot a moment ago of Holly Mulligan, Guppy's fiancée, who is here watching him in action this afternoon. There's Holly. It's even as Joe Antonora, the very capable PBA commissioner, looks on. Joins us from Akron, Ohio. I'm going to have to go on his diet. He looks great.
He does.
Guppy gets them all.
Talk about a contrast in styles. Now we've got 4 players bowling today on the telecast who hook the ball, like Jay mentioned earlier, like they're throwing it around a telephone pole. Then you've got Guppy Troup. He goes almost dead straight at the pins, and the lanes as they change won't affect his ball as much as it will the other players. Those 4 players cross more boards in one day, Jay, than Guppy does all year, I'll tell you.
A very good observation. Career earnings of over $403,000 for Troup. Remember, we'll have our championship match uninterrupted as always for you this afternoon on NBC.
Trouble.
And Guppy, who won his first title back in 1978 in Battle Creek, Michigan, has left the 4-pin. And he's got it. Well, will it be Troup or DeVincent to face Tom Baker? Now this from your local station.
Wednesday on Highway to Heaven.
Frankenstein!
I am not a monster!
Can the young girls love Kula Town's hatred?
For God's sake, don't run!
Wednesday.
Trouble. Oh, look at that. Can you believe it?
8-pin.
The solid 8. Almost unbelievable. That ball just was rolling so good, hit so hard, the pins went right up in the air over the top of the 8-pin. He can't lose his concentration. He has to have the spare. He's still in the lead by 3 pins.
A little later on, as you get a look at our scoreboard, Earl Anthony's tip for you bowlers all over the country. The proper position at the foul line, certainly a vitally important factor for you. And you see these professionals in fine shape at that point.
Storm DeVincent with the strike. And one more will be a winner. One more. The first ball in the 10th will make him a winner if he can strike.
DeVincent trying to continue his climb to the top here today.
I didn't think any player could win this many matches today, Jay, because of the scores. I thought the scores, and they have been very high, but Storm DeVincent's the one that's been shooting them.
$27,000 first prize, and DeVincent has only won $45,000 in his entire career.
To win the match.
There it is!
All right, he stays behind the foul line, keeps the ball in the lane. We've got a winner. And Guppy, you can see the disappointment on Guppy's face. He's very disappointed. He bowled extremely well all week long, and it's all over this year. He's a defending champion from last year, but it's going to have to wait one more year to see if he can do it again now, Jay.
Well, and these big crowds who came here all week were rooting him on. This is a tremendous facility here, but Storm DeVincent has had a very special afternoon. And now, of course, he will have the opportunity for the big prize. Strike for DeVincent. And Guppy congratulating him. There's the man who will be going from the #1 spot against DeVincent. Got to hurry. The score for DeVincent, 234. After opening with a 210, then a 277, the 234 wins it for DeVincent over Guppy Troup. Now, Earl Anthony's bowling tip for you this afternoon. Proper position at the foul line.
There are almost as many styles in bowling as there are bowlers. But one of the most critical things in the game is the proper position at the foul line. In order to be in that position and be balanced, the heel has to be slightly to the inside. The knee must be bent, the trailing foot on the floor, shoulders directly over the knee. What that should feel like, if it's done properly, is a lot of tension in this thigh muscle. But you should be able to hold that position for an extended period of time if you're balanced properly. Now remember, in order to get into that position, you must walk, never run to the foul line. Very important. Take your time so you have that proper balance for a good release, good follow-through.
Another very important tip from Earl Anthony. Storm DeVincent, 234 to 219 over Troup. The championship match in a moment.
Working closely with people, I'm always concerned about my smoke.